Pay attention, you bastards.
Young Thug has came out with this interview, man. And the interview explains a lot. It explains a lot. It definitely breaks down a lot. We seeing why he don't mess with Gunna like that. We kind of knew what it was. But we seeing why he don't mess with Gunna like that. I get it. But it still don't negate the fact that put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? You kind of put yourself out there, and you kind of, you know what I'm saying? You kind of put yourself out there to be labeled a snitch. You know what I'm saying? And we understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Listen, anybody that's a fan of Thug or a fan of Atlanta, you know, Atlanta's strong in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's a fan of Atlanta, a fan of Thug, you know what I'm saying? Like, you try to give niggas the benefit of the doubt. You like, man, you know what, man? I'm gonna try to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna try to see your perspective, you know. But at the end of the day, you gotta call a spade, man. You gotta call a spade, man. And what I'm seeing with this interview and what I've seen is that you know you did wrong, but you don't fully want to admit to you doing wrong. And it seems like he's trying to like mask it as, nah, man, like I didn't do nothing wrong. What Gunna did and what I did is two different levels. He snitched. I didn't really snitch. What I did was I just told them to hit me on some flirtation shit. So he's saying that he was just flirting with the officer. He's saying it was a female officer. He flirting with the officer. There was a whole long conversation that he was spinning them on, and he basically was just giving his number to the female officer, saying, hey look, I'm flirting with you. Hey, take my number down if you need anything. Holla at me.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But he wasn't giving her the number for that reason of I'ma tell on something. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them things, man. It's an interesting interview, man. It's an interesting interview, but it does, like I said, it does explain a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Again, and you just see, because anytime a don't talk, right, and they're in a huge situation like this, and the person doesn't say anything, or all you see is a text or a tweet, you don't see much, you left to kind of wonder. That's why the internet is going crazy. That's why this is such a big topic. The internet's going crazy because it's like, for a long time, you didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I think he should have came out a long time ago and had an interview, me personally. You know what I'm saying? I feel like outside of him saying and speaking on the situation, it would have took his brand to a whole nother level and made him more relevant. You know what I'm saying? That's truly what I believe. Because again, as I said on the prior video, we are in an internet day and age. If you're not on this internet and you're not understanding that you can make money and you could build your brand and you got eyes on you to talk about whatever you want to talk about, or to push whatever you want to push, it's on you. And if you're not doing it, you moving like the old times. You moving like, you know what I'm saying, when the computer came out, you know what I'm saying, and you was the nigga that was like, hey, nah, I'm cool, man. This shit ain't for me, man. Like, that's cool. You just, you living in the older times. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I think he should have came out, but he didn't, and it's all good. But like I said, this interview is an interesting one, and his responses is interesting. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that from what he was saying is like, everybody done told. Everybody in your crew done told. So either you the only solid one in your crew if everybody done told, or there's a missing piece to what's going on. If everybody done told on you and you just didn't do nothing wrong, that's a little weird to me. And what's even more weird about that situation is that if you pick the crew where everybody done told, you just got a bad judge of character. If everybody done told, you pick the crew where everybody done told, every single person, you picked a bad crew. I don't care what you say. You pick the bad crew. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta learn something from this situation, and we gotta say to ourselves, like, hey, how do we have a better judge of character? For one, how do we have better judgment in general for the whole situation? Because let's be honest, this whole situation, if you had better judgment, none of this shit would have happened. If we really keeping it real, none of this would have happened if you had better judgment. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Thug got to look at himself too. I know he getting out there, he trying to defend his name. Everybody calling him a rat, and I know that this interview was that was the reason. I think that was the main reasons. Let me try to save my name. Let me try to go and tell my side of the story, because everybody calling me a rat, and because it's so big and everybody's calling me a rat, you know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like I'm gonna pop out. And to me, it's like you kind of put yourself in a weird position, because at the end of the day, it's like, why do it take that for you to pop out and say something? You should have popped out and said something a while back. You should have popped out and said something, you know what I'm saying, when you first got home, or you know what I'm saying, after you got settled, then said something about the situation. You know what I'm saying? But you saying it because people calling you a rat, it's like, you know, I feel like Thug is mentally, he's overly tied to the streets. And I feel like as much as we want to call ourselves real niggas and street niggas, and I'ma live by a code and stand by a code, a lot of times standing by certain codes put you in a position you in. I'm going to say it again. A lot of times standing by certain codes put you in a position you in. Nigga said something to me, I got to slide on this nigga. Okay, he said something here, he got to slide on that nigga. Because he slid, now we put ourselves in a position where we fucked up the bag. Now I can't feed my family, he can't feed his family. Now, because I can't feed my family, he can't feed his family. Now, somebody's gonna crack. So now we didn't just made dumbass decisions, put ourselves in a position where what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why I say motherfuckers be overly tied to the streets, and it's just like, be overly tied to being a man. If you overly tied to being a man, you're gonna make different decisions. You know what I'm saying? So again, bro, I feel like just hearing him speak, it's a lot of good in what he's saying, but it's a lot of like childlike shit in what he's saying. And a nigga that's a kid, that got a mindset like a kid, he not gonna even pick on that, pick up on that. He gonna hear the interview and be like, oh man, that nigga standing on business the whole time. You putting yourself, and you've put yourself in a bogus ass position all around the board. You know what I'm saying? I said this in another video. If we did some shit together and we both was involved in it, and we got caught, and you told, I can't respect you, right? Me personally, I wouldn't be able to respect you. So I would look at you like a rat, but I would understand. I'm not saying I'm giving it a pass. I'm saying as a 34, 35-year-old man, I would understand. Because niggas pop it all day. I do this, I'm this in the street, I'm this nigga, till it's time to go sit down. And if you a nigga that produce for your family, and if you the breadwinner of your family, you the nigga that's one of the top dogs, it's going to be hard for you to go sit down and then not be able to do what you got to do for your family. So as much as niggas try to pop it, it's one of them things. So that's why I say, like, I don't agree with motherfuckers doing shit and telling, but I do understand. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, again, it's just my opinion. I think that he should kind of understand what it is. I'm not saying give it a pass. I'm saying understand. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like this. Nigga, if I'm taking care of a whole family, you know what I'm saying? But that goes back to the beginning, which is why I say what I say. Don't put yourself in goofy positions anyway. Don't put yourself in goofy positions anyway to where you don't have to go and be like, damn, I gotta. If it's not worth taking it all the way there in a situation because your kids is harmed or your woman is harmed or your family, it's something wild like that, then you probably shouldn't have taken it there. You know what I'm saying? If it's one of them situations, then that's different. You know what I'm saying? But again, man, it's just more and more shit coming out with Thug, man. He was speaking on Future. And the shit with Future, I can't even front. I felt where he was coming from, which is why I be saying, on one hand, that nigga Thug, he be saying some real shit. But niggas ain't gonna pick up on it, especially not at this time, because he's moving like a rat. He moving like a rat. So motherfuckers ain't gonna pick up on it. But he's saying real shit. What he say with Future. Like, nigga, like, motherfuckers get money and niggas will impregnate everything. Niggas will hit everything and come in everything. It's like, nigga, because you got the money, because you got the fame, because you got so many women at your disposal. But at the end of the day, it's like, are you gonna raise your kids? Or you gonna just keep hitting everything after think, I didn't hit 100 women. I had 15 kids. And I'm not gonna raise none of them kids because I'm on the road all the time. That's some cornball shit. However you put it. I don't give a fuck how cool you think motherfuckers is. I don't give a fuck how good of records niggas make. I don't care how fly a motherfucker. Oh, nigga, Future. I don't care what the impact a nigga had on hip hop. It don't matter. Use a cornball if you hitting all these women and then you having kids by them and then you know where to be found. Which is why Sierra can come and be like, you know what? I'm gonna change our kid's last name to my husband's name. That's why a woman can come and say, I'm gonna change your son's last name to my husband's last name. That's why Sierra can do that. Any nigga that's really there for his kids, man, I wish you, because I gotta sign off on it. If I'm really involved, I gotta sign off on that. You can't just do that. You know what I'm saying? But when people ain't really involved like that, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me be like, man, bro, he can't be involved like that. You know what I'm saying? So again, when thugs speak on shit like that, that might go over niggas' heads, or niggas may not even pay attention to it. Because it's like, nigga, you doing so much corny shit that we not even gonna pay attention to the real shit that you doing. So, you know, like I said, man, it's an unfortunate situation. And it sucked that more and more shit coming out. You know what I'm saying? It really sucks that more and more shit coming out. Like I just heard some shit today where he was like, you know, Mariah the Scientist, he was talking about, oh man, I'm hitting something in here, I'm hitting something in here. You know what I'm saying? In jail, man, I'm fucking with the CO. You know what I'm saying? And this go back to what I've been saying as all these tapes been coming out. It goes back. If you know the calls being recorded and you know who you are, why would you say certain stuff as if you know that's not going to ever come out? Why would you do that? You putting yourself in a, and I get it, you just having conversations and you just talking, but it's just like, it seemed like he put himself in a goofy position knowing calls are being recorded. So, you know, again, it's just one of them things, man, but it is what it is, man. Let me know how y'all feel about it, man. Getting them comments. Let me know what's up, man. As always, man, I appreciate the love and support, man. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one.